Alright guys, we've got a really funny segment for today. It is apparently involving Kristi Noem's husband, who, if you guys are in the dark, I'm sure a lot of you aren't, but in case you are, Noem's husband was outed as a cross-dresser who dons gigantic fake breasts and pink hot pants to chat with online fetish models. Oh man, dude, I'm telling you, some of the most conservative and hateful motherfuckers out there often engage with the shit that they criticize themselves or are hateful of. Like, an example of this is Leaflet's mom, who Leaflet is a MAGA person, and apparently, Leaflet, obviously, as you know, is not really a particular fan of marginalized groups. If you're in MAGA, you're not going to particularly care about marginalized groups. And Leaflet's mom apparently had like a porn history dedicated to trans people, which is funny to me and very ironic. But anyway, let's just jump right into it. We're going to watch Adam Mockler's coverage of this because Adam Mockler is pretty based. We love Adam Mockler here.
Dude, this is one of the wildest stories I have ever read. Somehow, Kristi Noem has turned out to be the normal one in her marriage, despite her alleged affairs, her insane abuse of taxpayer dollars to boost up her narcissistic image, and more.
Well, I mean, I guess surprise is not a joke, considering Kristi Noem has been, head of ICE for a while and kissing up to Trump for a while until she couldn't, and then this shit came out, and now Trump is fucking firing all kinds of people. I mean, as of today, the time you're recording this, like, he fired Pam Bondi. He's really just, like, letting people go that no longer serve him, despite the fact that they were willing to run defense for pedophilia for as long as they can, because, well, Trump good, am I right?
Just learned that Kristi Noem's husband is a secret cross-dresser who dons gigantic fake breasts and pink hot pants to chat with online fetish models. Okay.
That's fucking insane to me. Oh, it's so crazy. And apparently Kristi Noem was, like, so disappointed when this came. Like, bullshit, you were disappointed. I wouldn't doubt that she probably knew about this, but tried to keep this under wraps because she knew she would be purity tested out of spaces if people found out about it. They would be, like overly disgusted at that. They're more disgusted at this than, like, fucking religious priests that molest children, or Donald Trump who molests children. Most likely, allegedly, most likely did. Trump released the client list.
None of those words are in the Bible. If you don't know what most of those words mean, then you're not alone. He essentially dresses up with fake breasts, and he tries to chat with online models who are made for certain fetishes. That's what Kristi Noem's husband does, and we're going to explore...
Does? So, like, I thought this was... I was under the impression that this was, like, a past thing that he did. I didn't think that this was something he still did. If he still did this behind Kristi Noem's back, that's actually, honestly... That makes it even funnier, if anything.
Yeah, throughout this video.
Bro, I'm telling you, conservatives are into the weirdest shit ever.
Just a quick warning, there's some not safe for work imagery in this. Not that I'm...
yeah, let's censor this, by the way, because apparently there is an image. You can see the see-through shirt on Kristi Noem's husband. So, yeah, let's just censor this.
I'm showing any actual nudity, but Kristi Noem's husband dresses up in the outfit...
Yeah, I'm not willing to take any chances, so just keep this part censored.
...that you see on screen now. That is him on the left. And that is him next to Kristi Noem on the right. We've known that Kristi Noem has been hooking up with Corey Lewandowski, who was her aide for the past few years. I mean,
well, I guess Kristi Noem can't be upset at cheating allegations because she also slept her way to the top, I guess. So, damn, they really don't value their marriage at all.
We've allegedly...
The snakes that deserve each other. I guess technically the husband's not really a snake.
Known.
This is just like a weird fetish that like the husband's into, which is like, whatever. I personally don't care about the husband as much.
Because it's not really a secret. It's sort of such an open secret that even Trump was getting bothered by it. Well, to continue, Josh Boswell says, Newshound brought in this wild story.
Okay, I think we're good here to show this.
While Kristi was in Trump's cabinet as DHS secretary, Brian Noem was dressing up and paying adult entertainers to talk dirty.
Whoa.
So these are not images from years ago.
I guess Kristi Noem is not doing it enough in the bed. To be fair, like, I guess he wasn't doing it enough either, or doing it for either of them, because, well, they cheated on each other, essentially.
These are not images from 2014 that were just dug up. This was while Kristi Noem was DHS secretary, while she was abusing taxpayer funds to send ads of her face across the country. Remember, they spent $200 million of our money to blast ads of Kristi Noem. There are currently investigations into those ads, investigations into her corruption and abuse of taxpayer dollars.
Yeah, no, Kristi Noem is obviously a real piece of shit, as we know. That's not a hot take.
There are investigations into
Imagine being married to a woman like that.
Cost
It'd be fucking miserable.
Of the horses that Kristi Noem used. These aren't superfluous investigations from Democrats. They are legitimate investigations into Kristi Noem's abuse of taxpayer funds. On top of that, there's investigations into Renee Good and Alex Preddy.
Who were indiscriminately murdered by ICE, and it's not even a question that they were murdered by ICE. They were absolutely murdered by ICE. The first one being Renee Good. The ICE agent pulls out his pistol before he even moves out of the way from the vehicle, which, by the way, according to ICE training manuals, you're not supposed to put yourself in danger in front of a moving vehicle. ICE officers not trained to do that, so he was breaking the rules there. Clearly, that ICE officer was more interested in shooting her in the fucking face than his own safety. Then you have Alex Preddy, brings a gun to ICE protest. Wasn't using that gun to threaten anybody. He wasn't an active threat on the scene. But basically, an ICE officer pushes a woman onto the snow for no reason. He gets up to help her. They confiscate his gun, beat the shit out of him, and then they murder him, basically. So, in other words, the Second Amendment is totally okay. Children need to die for the Second Amendment, except if you bring it to an ICE protest, because ICE protests are the priority of your safety over children dying in schools. So that's great logic by MAGA and, I guess, right-wingers as a whole.
Murders of them and the subsequent cover-up that was enacted by Kristi Noem by the DHS. She said moments after Renee Good and Alex Preddy were killed that they were domestic terrorists. And she's...
Whoa, that's crazy.
Still, somehow, the more normal one in this relationship. Now, Josh Boswell then says, we've reviewed hundreds of messages involving...
I feel like if anything, this guy is, the most normal in the relationship than Kristi Noem, if anything. You could say... listen, if you find cross-dressing to be a little bit odd and peculiar, that's fine. I think that that's, not a harsh, take to have. Me personally, I mean, not for me, but... I'm not really too bothered by it because it doesn't really affect me. Somehow, again, I think the husband is just, more normal than Kristi Noem is.
3 women from the, quote, bimbofication scene, where porn performers transform themselves into real-life Barbie dolls by pumping colossal amounts of saline into their breasts.
Whoa, whatever happened to the Christianity, no sex before marriage, or no being all, sex positive? You can't be sex positive. You have to have sex after marriage. What happened to all that Christianity on the right? I guess clearly that's one way to purity test Kristi Noem out of these spaces.
The selfies Brian sent are quite astounding, as is the fact that he opened up to his wife to the danger of potential blackmail by foreign powers, intelligence experts told us. Wow. So as we read this article, you'll learn that
Oh, is that I guess that was a bit of an editing error on Adam Mockler's part.
You'll learn that Kristi Noem's husband was worried that foreign intelligence was going to find out what he was doing and use that as blackmail. This is a corrupt, incompetent, weird administration.
Yeah, I mean, this is some people would argue this is the most corrupt administration we have ever had, period. This goes the whole Epstein shit goes beyond anything we've seen from Watergate. Watergate is actual peas compared to what we're seeing with the Epstein files being massively covered up and the administration just constantly running defense for rapist pedophiles. It's honestly, it is so insane. I never thought we would see the pendulum swing so back to the point where actual rape and pedophilia is being defended by so many people. It's pretty insane.
To break this all down, starting with this article. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you subscribe to the Adam Mockler feed. Scroll down and check how close we are to 2 million subscribers. That's genuinely because of you all. I owe each and every single one of you a huge thank you and eternal gratitude for helping us build the fastest growing Gen Z independent media company on the entire internet. Thank you.
Damn, am I part of that crowd? I feel so disconnected from my generation. Honestly. Like, Gen Z is cooked. I feel very disconnected from my generation. I don't know. Maybe it's where things have gone. Who fucking knows? But, things can always change, like millennials were teenagers at one point and they vastly evolved as they got older. So if they can evolve, Gen Z can also evolve maybe someday. Or maybe I'm just coping.
Wall. And let's start here. The secret life of Kristi Noem's cross-dressing husband, Brian. The pouting, busty bimbo photos and trove of explicit messages. Wow, we're really coming up with some new sentences here today. And by the way, let me caveat. There is nothing wrong with cross-dressing. I find nothing wrong with wanting to express yourself. I find nothing wrong with wanting to maximize your own happiness as long as you are not harming anybody else. And if you want to do that by getting tattoos or by getting, some sort of gender-affirming care or by cross-dressing.
I mean, yeah, like, that is a good point. Like, wouldn't cross-dressing be some form of gender-affirming care? That is a very good point.
Or by wearing makeup or wearing jewelry, I really don't give a shit. Do whatever you want. But I do find it ironic that Kristi Noem is one of the people that spreads the very type of hatred that her husband would purportedly receive.
Yeah, and of course she's like pretending to be all fucking surprised that her husband cross-dressed. I just refuse to believe that she didn't know about it. Like, it went public and now she's like running this PR being like, I'm so disappointed. She's like desperate to not get purity tested by MAGA. That's really all it is. That's it. It's all just like a desperation to not be fucking lambasted because MAGA is just so hateful of minority groups.
Kristi Noem and people like, Laura Loomer, all of these women in Trump's orbit have been leading the charge on what is a woman? What is a woman? We don't like cross-dressers. They are fake women. They're very vile towards trans women. Nancy Mace, very vile towards trans women. But then we learn
that there's a lot. I am telling you. The most transphobic and homophobic motherfuckers out there jerk off to the groups of people that they have this hatred for. It's projection. They do this shit. I'm telling you, every time without fail. Otherwise, you wouldn't have any reason to be hateful to these groups of people. Like, it's insane. See? My car alarm agrees. That's not my car alarm. But you get my point. The car alarm agrees.
In Kristi Noem's own household, we have this going on. Kristi Noem's husband is today revealed as a secret cross-dresser who dons gigantic fake breasts, while his wife has operated at the highest echelons of government, handling matters of national security. Brian Noem has been dressing up and paying adult entertainers to talk dirty. The Daily Mail has reviewed hundreds of messages involving 3 women from the bimboification scene where porn performers transform themselves into real-life Barbie dolls. I'm going to show you the images right here, but I just want to warn you, if you have someone peeking over your shoulder at the screen that I'm about to show you, it would honestly be easier to just show them porn at that point, because it's like if my producer walked.
Oh. Well, I think I can show this. I think this is not so bad. The other one seemed pretty bad. Like one of the nipples was like very visible, but this one I think you could show. I think this one should be fine.
In right now, or if like my mom walked in right now, I would just switch over to actual porn because that.
Well, good thing I locked the door on every segment that I do, because if somebody walked in and they saw this tab open, I don't know what I would say to them.
It would be easier to explain than whatever the hell this is on screen now.
This one I'm not gonna show. This one we're censoring.
We have to be joking. Listen, I don't judge. I honestly don't judge. I don't care what you want to do. But the fact that Kristi Noem was abusing our taxpayer dollars to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars while spreading hatred towards minorities in this country, spreading hatred towards immigrants, spreading hatred towards people that I care about.
Maybe like the whole cross-dressing thing is like a turn-on for Kristi Noem. I don't know. Maybe she just doesn't want to tell anybody. She's pretending to be disappointed and upset at it. But what if it's secretly a turn-on? What if she likes it when her husband cross-dresses for her?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That would be very like affirming for her behind the scenes.
I don't.
She was desperate for this not to come out. That's for damn sure.
I think that you get a. Yeah, I'm sorry. I think it's incredibly hypocritical for Kristi.
There's a lot of editing errors in this, Adam. I'm sorry. You probably should hire a new editor. I don't know if you do hire an editor.
Noem's husband to be all for individual liberty as long as it makes you happy, but then the moment that turns to transgender people or black Americans or immigrant Americans, they strip that individual liberty away. Republicans want to shit on minority groups and shit on people for being quote unquote weird all the time, but then they end up being weird themselves.
Yes, and also, I mean, like I said, in a lot of these groups, you know, like being gay or being trans or just like being part of any minority group, that's more of a crime than raping kids now. That's kind of just where we're at right now. Is like harm against minority groups is more valid than harming children.
I have friends from Indiana, where I grew up, that were always pro-life because their parents were, right? Throughout high school, we would always argue.
I've had my period of being pro-life. Not my proudest moment in my life, unfortunately. That was during my high school days, and I think early college days as well. Definitely not my proudest moments, for sure. But, you know, you grow out of it, you realize, yeah, a lot of these conservatives, they don't particularly care about what happens to the baby after they're born. They pretend to be pro-life until it's people getting murdered by ICE, of course.
In debate, you know how I am, I like to debate them. They would always say they are pro-life, but then the moment it affects them personally, and my friend had a pregnancy scare, all of a sudden, he turns pro-choice. He is okay with abortion. These conservatives are hypocritical and want to express their feelings because it's America, but don't want other people to do that.
Which is very funny because a lot of MAGA spaces in particular will dismiss like liberals or left-leaning people as being too emotional. They'll say like these people are very emotional and they're very violent, but like MAGA is a victim complex. They're all feeling like everything they say is based off of emotion and feelings, which is it's just so ironic.
Brian has lavished praise on their surgically enhanced bodies of the bimboification scene. That's what they call it, not me. Confessed his lust for huge, ridiculous boobs.
Well, that probably explains why they both cheated on each other, because I guess Kristi Noem wasn't packing in that department, I suppose. Fuck me, dude. God, that's... Well, I am officially going to hell for making that joke. I guess not, because Kristi Noem's sins are a lot heavier than mine.
And even made indiscreet remarks about his 34-year marriage to Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem.
Love that we had to highlight the huge, ridiculous boobs part. I love that. Thank you, Adam Mockler. Very cool.
Investigation can exclusively disclose. National security experts consulted by the Daily Mail say his brazen behavior could have left 54-year-old MAGA favorite, who oversaw ICE's aggressive crackdown, vulnerable to blackmail. Quote, if media organizations can find this out, you can assume with a high degree of confidence that a hostile intelligence service knows this well. One more time. If the Daily Mail can figure this out, then our hostile intelligence services like Russia, Iran, China, they definitely can figure this out.
Yeah, no question. I mean, they are... Like, we're kind of already seeing, like, their technology go higher and higher. Russia, in particular, with the, like, fake accounts on Twitter to run, like, disinformation campaigns for Russian propaganda, basically. And so, like, their intelligence, like, agencies can definitely, like... They're getting closer and closer, for sure. It's like another Cold War arms race, essentially, in terms of intelligence operations.
In a selfie shared with one of his online contacts, Brian, an insurance mogul, can be seen squeezing into a flesh-colored crop top and skin-tight pink shorts. The rugged father of three appears to have stuffed 2 balloons inside his shirt to resemble...
Oh my god. 2 balloons.
Breasts, positioning the knots to mimic nipples.
Oh my god.
Lord have mercy. Just this month, Brian was photographed supporting his wife by sitting dutifully behind her at a March 4th congressional hearing, scrutinizing her aggressive immigration enforcement tactics.
I have to censor this again, by the way, because it's another... It's one of the similar images we saw earlier where you can see the nipples poking out that I just don't feel comfortable showing.
Later that night, probably not actually that night, I'm just making that part up, but sometime over the course of that year, this was also Brian Noem. Lord have mercy. Another photo shows the rancher and businessman wearing figure-hugging green leggings. Remarkably, Brian's face is clearly visible in both images.
Censor this again, please.
Just, holy shit, he didn't even try to hide his face. Oh my god.
Damn. I mean, he had to have known that this was very taboo for the spheres that he hung out in, right? He had to have known. That's why he kept it under wraps. And it just so happened to be that people figured it out, and Kristi Noem is just like... well, yeah, she's pretending to be shocked by it, but it's obvious bullshit.
Texts and WhatsApp messages reveal that Brian was repeatedly being asked for money during the 14 months that Noem led the nation's largest federal law enforcement agency. He sent his secret roster of online acquaintances at least $25,000 via Cash App, but when the payments were delayed or failed to materialize, the chats would quickly turn sour. One of the women became so disgruntled, she posted about his behavior on social media before later deleting it. They are blackmailing the husband of Kristi Noem. We're going to leave it there. This is crazy stuff.
I mean, it's like, ultimately, here's the thing, right? I know like Adam Mockler is saying that it's like crazy stuff, but ultimately, I don't really think it's that crazy, because if this happened to anybody else, I wouldn't give a shit. Like, this is tame. It's just the fact that Kristi Noem and MAGA in particular by association are just so hateful of expressing yourself, and like any of this is like extraordinarily taboo to them, or just like very like awful in comparison. So the fact that this got leaked out more than anything towards them is what makes it, I think that's the reason this blew up more than anything. Because let's be real, if these were like liberals, like if Kristi Noem and her husband were liberals and this got leaked out, nobody would care about this. Like, nobody would care too much. At most, you would see, like, right-wingers be like, oh, look, the typical left being weird and stuff. I wouldn't doubt that he goes around kids or whatever, despite the fact that they defend Trump. But, like, again, it's just the fact that of the spheres that they hang out in is the reason this blew up. And even, like, the left kind of took a stab and went like, oh my god, look, he's freaky behind the scenes. Look at that. They're all very closeted.
Do you drop a like and subscribe for more breaking news videos like this one? I'll see you all in the next video, and peace out.
All right. Well, that was certainly a funny and weird segment, but still funny nonetheless.